What's up guys, Cash back with another one, and in this week's update blog, we got some info on new changes coming to Melee and Avengers, and we also got something interesting from Miller about the game's future story, so I'll break that down. Also, don't forget you can save on all your favorite superhero merch over at fandominion.com by using my promo code for an additional 10% off your purchase. So make sure to use the link down in the description, but now let's jump into it. So if you're a player who's spent any significant time playing Avengers and working on builds, you've learned that melee is definitely not better than range for most heroes, and that sucks when you have heroes like Hulk and Black Panther who should focus on melee for the most part, but they finally seem to be addressing some of the shortcomings of melee in the game with changes like increasing perk percentage, increasing the buff duration, and adding status effects to signature attacks for Kate and Kamala. Alex insists that this by no means is the full extent of the changes planned for melee, and says that they are already in the process of adding melee focused perks and features in the future, alongside hero specific perks tied to hero gear that will add offensive and defensive options. So as a player who misses my melee Thor build, this all sounds like good news, and hopefully this leads to more balanced builds in the future. They also break down the thought process behind the upcoming changes to damage buff, saying that the plan is to remove the critical chance and impact from damage buff, although the 65% damage increase will remain and that the duration will not be changed. They're also making changes to the Norn Stone of Lethal Wheels buff, removing the 35% critical chance to all attacks and increasing the damage buff from 35% to 45% and increasing the duration by 2 seconds. They're also increasing the passive critical hit increase from 5% to 10%. So this is interesting news for all the numbers nerds out there. And they also showed off the new MCU skins we got for the week, with the Night Monkey skin for Spider-Man dropping for PlayStation players, and in an interesting move they made the Age of Ultron Black Widow skin the timed exclusive for Xbox and PC players, who will have access a week ahead of the PlayStation players. And I think this is fine because it doesn't make sense to make Spider-Man the skin of the week when he's only available on one platform, so hopefully this helps to balance things a bit. Unfortunately, we didn't get an update on the roadmap this week, and they didn't announce a dev stream for tomorrow in the blog, so for now, I'll assume they aren't planning one for this week, but in typical fashion, Miller gave us something to think about in the meantime. Evan Narcisse, who was the narrative consultant for War for Wakanda, was asked by Miller if he contributed writing for any of Avengers' upcoming content, and he said, "In terms of my future involvement, all I can say is there's stuff coming that I touched. I don't think it's been announced yet, so I really can't say anything more, but yeah, there's some very cool stuff coming from that game." So this is interesting because on one hand, he could be talking about working on the narrative for the upcoming She-Hulk operation, which is expected to be the first big hero update for the year. But over on this stream, Miller suggested that anyone hoping to see Shuri revealed as the Echo hero they plan to release ahead of She-Hulk, this could support that thinking since Evan worked on the narrative for War for Wakanda. I know a lot of people are still convinced that the hero will be Yelena, and at this point I don't know what to believe. But if we are getting the Echo hero, I want War Machine ahead of anybody, but seriously, we know that the game's story is one of its strengths, so I'm sure whatever part of the story Evan helped to work on will be just as good as what we got from War for Wakanda. But that's it for Avengers news from this week's reset, but let me know your thoughts down below. Are you feeling the new changes coming to Melee, and what do you think of the changes coming to damage buff and the Norn Stone buff? Make sure to drop a like if you enjoyed the video and want to support the channel, and subscribe to catch more Marvel's Avengers content every week. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.